Alright guys, this is part 2, and for the most part I forgot one book, which is this one here, and this is the author, and they do talk about World War II Japanese swords, so let's look at those, but it's very short, they only show you these two. You can pause the video and read it if you want. I have a napkin here so I can show you something. Okay, so there's the swords. They're all unsheathed. Or unsheathed. Anyway, basically, here we have our two NCO swords with their fullers. And sadly, the blades do not match the sayas. But overall, the condition, I've seen worse. I've seen very much worse, where it's like so rusted it doesn't even shine. At least this way you can see the camera. And both of these appear to have been sharpened. And you can see surface rust, but not so bad. Like I said, I've seen worse. These are some of the markings that you want to look for when you are going to buy NCO swords. This way you can tell if it's real or if it's fake. But as they say, the devil is in the details, because you gotta look at every little detail. The paint on this one, I'm gonna say, is probably 10% there, if that. But this one, like I said, 80 to 85% the paint is still there, so that's pretty badass. Pretty nice. Okay, then we come over here to the wakizashi. This is a cruise gunto. What that means is it's a cruise member, which would be either somebody driving a tank, a submarine, or on a plane. You can see the hamon. Trying to get the hamon on there. I can see it really nice here, but on the camera it's a little more difficult. Let's flip it around. And there's a lot of people, again, just trolls, have nothing better to do, or they're jealous. Either way, they say that these swords, the cruise gunto, they were never a real thing. They're all fake. No, I'm sorry, man. Again, do your research, because these swords are very real, and I have one right here, and there are other people that do have them in better condition than mine here. And yeah, they are either for tanks, they're either for a pilot, or for submarines. So again, look at the very first video, and I'm gonna put some more descriptions, links in the description, so you can go and see for yourself that it is 100% real. And the markings as well. The markings. Okay. So let's look at the Navy. Thank you, Dolly. I love you very much. My mom as well, and my grandfather. I took this off here. Usually I don't take it off, but this one I did because it does have the number, the matching. A dot, or a period 42. Period 42. Period 42. And even the habaki is marked. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have the stripe marks, 4, and then on this side 2, so it's 42. So it's dot, or period 42, 42, 42, everything matching. So let's see. The saya you saw already. It has all the cracks on there. Sorry. Okay. And then the blade itself. This is a stainless steel blade, although just because it's stainless steel doesn't mean that it was not handmade. Although this one, this one has a chip, and again, just because it's stainless steel doesn't mean that it was not handmade. Although this one was machine made, but what does machine made actually mean? Well, it really means that a man, one man or one woman, got this sword and used a machine hammer to hammer the sword out. So in a way it's still handmade, it's just they used a machine hammer to hammer it out. But anyway, period 42, so it's 42, and you can see the Navy right there in the circle. I don't wanna drop the sword. So there's the anchor mark. Beautiful. Just gorgeous sword, man. Freaking gorgeous. Sadly though, this sword has been sharpened, and you can see it's pretty not rusted, it's pretty scratched up. The Kosaki is still there, so that is awesome. So there you go. Again, I wanted to bring up something else. The stainless steel. Everybody says, or I've seen people say on forums and crap like that, they're like, oh, you know, stainless steel was never around back in the 40s in Japan. Actually, somewhat true, but at the exact same time, they were testing it. So they were putting it in the hardening process. There were some, I don't know what they were dipping into the steel, but it was some kind of chemical that made it stainless steel. So that's why you have the stainless steel blade here. Now this does have some rust, but very, very minor. There was 2 small little parts that have rust on it. I just can't see it right now because I'm in a hurry before the camera runs out of time. So trying to, well, either way. It does have two little tiny little rust spots on the blade, but I forgot where it's at. It's somewhere up on this side here. But so you can see closer, it does have the Kasaki. It has a lot of scratches on the blade. The blade has been sharpened, sadly, but oh well. I mean, more than likely it was some kid that, you know, his dad brought it back from World War II. So, well, if the father let him play with the kid, with the sword. Anyway, so it has one chip right there, and it has another chip right here. Okay, now we go into the army. Now this sword here was made before World War II. It was made by Minamoto Toshiyoki, born in 1828, September 2nd, at this place here. He died 1909, November 1st, Tokyo. His real name is this name here. He was a second-gen swordsmith, and he also made a carpenter's tool, or he would also work on a carpenter's tool. I want to thank this man right here for helping me a lot to find out who this swordsmith was. So thank you, sir. Arigato. Arigato. And so this swordsmith that made this sword here, let me try and pick this blade up and put it here like this. Okay. Minamoto Toshiyoki Saku Core. So it's Sir Toshiyoki made this. You can see that right there. So this blade, this sword blade was made before World War II. You can see the hamon. I'm trying to get it very carefully here because this is a very sharp sword, and you can see that the Kasaki has been chipped off. The hamon on there is very thick. It almost covers the entire part of that sword right there. But let me get on this side too, so you can see both sides. It has another chip right there. The hamon, I can see it perfectly right here, right now, but like I said, on the camera, it's a little bit harder. It's harder to see. So this sword, I believe, was made in what is it? 18. Let me see. He was born 1828. He died in 1906. So I'd have to guess he made swords in the late 1800s. If he died in 1906, that was way before World War II. So it's a family heirloom that they put on World War II military mounts. So this is the Asuka. Okay, now the last sword I will show you is this one here, and I did change the thread on there. Come in this eye. I did change the thread because when I first showed you this, it was green. I put green wrap on there. I didn't really like that, so I basically took it all off and re-wrapped it with this brown thread so that the original World War II Suka does not come off, or the Ido, I should say. But there you go. Okay, and here's this, so we put this over here. Okay, here's the Suba, the original one, iron. I don't know if that's real gold inlay or if it's brass inlay. But as I said in my previous review, it looks like this is wind or water all around the Suba there.